Good morning, Flo. I've been meaning to compliment you on your beard since last week, man. I wanted to ask you about Eric Rowe and Nick Needham and the roles they play in your defense and the progress that they've made over the last two seasons. How valuable have those guys been to your defense this season?
I think both guys have played well. Uh, I think their communication's gotten better. I think they're tackling well. I think they're uh, both giving us competitive coverage. I think they're both playing well, and hopefully that continues. Again, it's a week-to-week league, so how they prepare this week, we'll say a lot about how they play. And I think they've prepared each week, or they've attacked each week in the correct manner, and that showed up on game day. Hopefully that continues.
Omar?
I want to get an update on Tua. You watched him practice yesterday. What would be your assessment? Do you still see the thumb as an issue that could impact his performance?
He was limited at practice. I'm sure you guys saw that on the injury report. And we'll take it one day at a time. Both quarterbacks practiced yesterday. We'll just take it one day at a time and see how he progresses throughout the week and make a decision, come Sunday.
Joe?
Good morning to you, Flo. When we Tua today, my impression was that he's a little bit concerned about how the injury could affect his throwing. That's my impression. What is your impression of if it is impacting him, and do you feel he has some concern?
You talking about Tua?
Yeah.
I think. Look, I think it's pretty well known that he's dealing with something, and look, anytime you're dealing with something, you're not 100%. You're not at full strength. I mean, there's always some type of impact, but I think every player in this league is dealing with that in some form or fashion. 11 games in, everyone's nicked, everyone's bruised up. No one's really at 100%. Like they were in day one of training camp. So everyone's dealing with something. That's certainly the case with a lot of players on our team, and I think guys find a way to work through things in this league. Tua is no different.
Adam?
Good morning, Brian. I had a question about sports science, actually. Have you guys looked into and found kind of a game plan when it comes to managing your rookies through a season where they didn't have an off season, where they didn't have training camp? I know that the rookie wall is something that coaches talk about. I don't know how much credence you give to that, but certainly these are very unique circumstances for a bunch of guys whose college season would be wrapping up pretty soon.
I don't know. We have a sports science, group, and I think, Dave Paloka, our strength conditioning, head strength conditioning coach, and Adam LaChance, those guys do a great job from that standpoint as far as, yardage and numbers and things of that nature. So I can't really speak to it. And, I have a pretty good understanding, but I wouldn't speak to the exact numbers of what a player in this position, what's the exact yardage he should or shouldn't have right now. I would say more than anything, because this is a little bit unprecedented. I think that's kind of the time we're in. There was no OTA. There was no a different training camp. It's been a different year completely, and that may be changing even more so. Yes, it's something we take into consideration, something we talk about. But our message to the young players, rookies, guys who haven't been through NFL season is, take care of your bodies, make sure you're hydrating, make sure you're eating right, make sure you're getting your sleep, make sure you're fueling yourself so you have enough energy to make it through the day. And I think communication is a big part of that. And we talk to them about, telling us when they're, sore, fatigued, or things of that nature. and we just try to work through it on a day-to-day basis. I don't know if the numbers, I mean, if we use numbers, I mean, maybe you tell me if we had the numbers, what would we be basing that off of? Because it's a totally different year. I mean, maybe you could help me with that. I don't know. I don't know. If it was a normal year, then maybe those numbers would I don't want to say mean something, but maybe they would give us more of an accurate way to proceed. But in a year when everything's a little bit different, I'm not sure. Where everyone's in uncharted territory.
Ruthie?
Hey, Flo. First of all, really like the hat. Big fan. I also wanted to get your take on the Bengals special teams unit. It seems like that was kind of the phase that kept them in the game last week. Just kind of what you've seen from that.
Yeah, this is one of the best special teams units in the league. Darren Simmons is, one of the best coaches, kicking game coaches in the league. You see it year in, year out. And like you said, I mean, that phase kept them in the game last week. I think they've got some, Brandon Wilson's a kind of an underrated player. But this guy's a very good returner. Huber's a really good punter. Like Bullock, I mean, they've got good specialists. They've got good players on those units. They play fast. Schematically, they do a good job. They're not afraid to run some fakes, which they got one off last week. This is going to be a challenge, and I think, for our special teams unit. And we've got to play well in that phase. They've shown that they can keep themselves in the game strictly off of special teams. So, we've got to do a good job.
Yeah.
Good morning, Flo. You mentioned, I guess, a few minutes ago that nobody's 100% at this point. I guess with Tua and the thumb, at some point you're going to have a decision with maybe 80 or 90%, 70%, wherever he is, Tua versus a maybe healthier Fitz. What goes into a decision when you're trying to see if someone's healthy enough to play compared to, someone else who may be healthier? If that makes sense.
I think there's a lot that goes into that decision. What's best for the player, what's best for the team, what we need to do, what we need to be able to do to try to, win a ball game. I think all those things, I think that's at the top of the priority list when you're thinking about who can play and who can't, really at any position. But, like I said earlier, I mean, I would say every player in this league that's played a significant amount of snaps is dealing with something. And you try to work through it. And that's what Tua's doing. That's what a lot of guys on our team are doing. And we'll see how it goes, over the course of the week. It's Thursday. And I know you guys want to know right now if he's playing, if he's not playing, but we still got 2 days of practice here. And like always, we're going to make the best decision for the team.
Final question, Omar.
Wanted to get an update on the running backs. DeAndre missed practice yesterday with a hamstring injury. You've got two guys coming back, Gaskins and Ahmed, with their injuries. Where you are from a depth standpoint and availability standpoint based on what you saw yesterday?
Well, just, I made this mistake also. It's Ahmed. Yeah. So, no, don't worry. I made the same mistake. He doesn't correct people like he should, which I told him he needs to do that. So it's good to get Ahmed back. Obviously, Gaskin was back yesterday, or last week, I should say. D-Wash, we had to hold him out. But, look, we feel good about our backs. Breida, Laird, Miles, Ahmed. I think we got enough guys that we can line up and play. I think everyone's dealing with injuries, COVID, things of that nature. I mean, we watched the game yesterday with a number of guys out, for different reasons, some injuries, some COVID. So look, we just gotta do the best with what we've got, and guys are trying to come back and practice, and guys who are banged up, they're doing everything they can to get back as quickly as possible and get into the game. Like I said, everyone's a little bit banged up this time of year. It's not just one position. It's you guys are mentioning it's running back. It's a little bit on the O-line. Other teams are dealing with it, and we're no different. So I think we just gotta fight through the little bit of adversity, and then next guy's got to step up and play. It's a team game. It's 53 guys on the roster, and somebody for whatever reason can't be out there. Next guy's got to be able to step up and play, and I think they're ready to do that. And that's why that's what I like about this team. They pull for each other, they support one another, and if someone's got to, for whatever reason, whether it's injury or COVID or whatever the case may be, the next guy's ready to step up.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, real quick, guys, I just want to say happy birthday to Joe Cimino. He's our head equipment guy. He does a great job for us, and I would say he's tops in the league. So very appreciative of him and his staff, and just wanted to give him a little quick shout out.